When Fire Red and Leaf Green came out in 2004, I was so excited to journey back to the Kanto region with all of the updates that Gen 2 and Gen 3 had brought to the series. I was specifically excited to see how the Dark and Steel types, along with all the newer Gen 2 and Gen 3 Pokemon, would fare against the gym leaders and Elite Four members that I had come to love challenging in Red and Blue. This excitement turned to confusion, though, when my Golbat tried to evolve into Crobat, only for it to fail. It turns out that Game Freak had decided that the newer Pokemon would be locked behind beating the champion. To this day, I wonder why Game Freak made this decision. Did they know something about these Pokemon that we didn't? Were the Dark-type and Steel-type Pokemon too strong for Kanto, that only the Magnemite line was available before the postgame? Today I start this investigation with the Dark-type, specifically with Umbreon. Will its Dark-typing allow it to breeze through the game, or will it fall short? Make sure to like and subscribe as we journey through this investigation with a new Leaf Green solo challenge every Poke Monday. I used the Universal Pokemon Randomizer to replace Squirtle with Umbreon so that we could do the entire challenge with it. I chose to replace Squirtle so that our rival would choose Bulbasaur, which removes Executor, a part Psychic type from his final team. I figured this would give us the toughest challenge out of the other options. Now, for the first battle with our rival, I clearly have the advantage as I'm a fully evolved Umbreon facing off against a first stage Bulbasaur. Because of this, I choose to ignore Tail Whip and Helping Hand and simply just spam Tackle until his newly acquired Bulbasaur faints. I receive a small chunk of XP as my prize, and I'm off to start my journey. So, as we move on to Brock, let's take a look at Umbreon's moves. So, through Level Up, we have access to Pursuit at level 16. That's going to be kind of rough for Brock, because that's our first special type move. We later will get Quick Attack, Confuse Ray, Feint Attack, and Moonlight. Looking at our TMs that are available to us, we have Toxic, Hyper Beam, Return, Dig, Psychic, Shadow Ball, and Secret Power, as well as Rest. So, looking at the fact that we've got slightly higher attack than we do special attack, we're probably going to have kind of a mix of both, definitely using Return, and maybe Psychic, and maybe a couple others, probably keeping a Dark move on there. So, I'm going through and keeping in mind that I'm not going to have access to a Dark-type move until level 16. I am going to go through and battle each of these trainers. So, this is the second Bug Trainer in the forest. And you can see I've knocked out the first Pokemon, and I'm at the second Weedle. And I'm realizing, oh man, I've only got 4 tackles left. I've been killing too many mobs as I'm going through here, and I put myself in a pickle. To make matters worse, it would have been okay if I hadn't gotten poisoned. I could have, sat here and depleted all of my PP, but unfortunately now I'm poisoned, and I'm on a timer. So, I wasn't expecting to black out on the second Bug Trainer of the game, but sometimes that's how the game gets played. So, because I didn't save, I do just go ahead and go back to the Poke Center, and I'm going to just, train a little bit more, and then I'm going to go ahead and face the optional rival. So I've hit level 9. Rival is going to have access to a Pidgey and then his Bulbasaur, so let's take a look at how things go. So starting off, I'm just going to go ahead and tackle. I do get sand attacked by the Pidgey, and I'm just going to keep on tackling. Unfortunately, I'm already missing once, but tackle does get me down, and I'm able to get through the Pidgey with 24 HP left. When it comes to the Bulbasaur, I am going to go ahead and sand attack this one and then tackle, just because I want to make sure that I do live long enough, and I'm worried about it getting too many hits off on me. So from there, I just go ahead and tackle a few more times, and I am able to beat it and finish with 15 HP left, and I do level up to level 10, which will definitely help on the journey going to Brock. So, coming back through the forest, I've refilled my PP, and I've gone up against this second bug catcher again. I tackle the first Umbreon, and I'm poisoned. Okay, so I've taken out the first Weedle, I'm poisoned, I've got half health, and I need to get through the second one and a Kakuna, and I'm at, okay, well, the last time I saved was after the rival, and I've got like half a bar, and again, this is going to take a while because I'm thinking I probably need to get to level 16 for Brock, so unfortunately I black out to the second time to Bug Catcher Doug. Thanks, Doug. You are just a thorn in my side. So, go back through the forest, and this time I'm going to avoid Bug Catcher Doug so I don't get poisoned. I do a little bit more training, and I head up to the Pewter City Gym. Now, I'm at level 13. I try the Light Years trainer first, just to see what we can do, see how much of an impact we can make on this trainer to get an idea for Brock if we can do this before we get access to our Dark move. So, you can see I hit Sand Attack, I've tackled a couple times, I'm trying to conserve my HP and see how far I can go with this without, getting too low. It's not going too bad, but he is, just continuously using tackle and defense curl, so my tackles are just not doing very much at all. So I'm kind of worried that I am going to lose access to tackle power points as I'm going through here, but I've got about 20 left right now and only about a third of his health left to go, so I'm feeling okay, but my health is slowly going down. Now, unfortunately, as it goes on, it gets closer into the red, and I've only got 13 more. So I go ahead and tail whip a couple times just to kind of see, and my health is also getting really low, so I'm starting to question whether or not this is actually going to be doable. I am able to knock out the Geodude, and I've got 9 PP left on tackle, but only 12 HP. So I Sand Attack the Sandshrew, just to hope it doesn't kill me. It goes ahead and defense curls, and no, it's Sand Attacking me! Don't do that! Okay, so 9 health. I'm just going to keep on spamming tackle. I need to kill this thing before it kills me. Going okay. Tackle is missing so much. Down to 6 health. It's just below, it looks like about a third, but I run out of PP on tackle. And I don't have enough health. So I go ahead and just let it knock me out, and I keep the XP I got from the Geodude, and I'm just going to go ahead and go back and train again until I can level up. So I train here on the different bugs in Viridian Forest. I hit level 16, and I learn Pursuit. I'm going to go ahead and remove Helping Hand, because that's not going to help me at all. And then I think I'm ready to go back and not only face the Light Years trainer, but also defeat Brock. So, after healing at the Pokemon Center, I'm going to go ahead and head back to the Pewter City Gym, and I'm going to face off against the Light Years trainer just to make sure that Pursuit is going to do it for us. So, first Geodude, I go ahead and hit Pursuit, and okay, yeah, it did like 5/6 of its health pull, so go ahead and knock that one out. Pursuit the Sandshrew, it did just over half, so both of those are 2 shots. I'm thinking we're going to be just okay against Brock with Pursuit. So, I go ahead and save, and now it's time for the Rock Hard Gym Leader. Up first is his level 12 Geodude. I hit Pursuit, and I do over half health, and I Pursuit again, and knock it out. For Onix, I hit Pursuit, it does just under half, so I Pursuit again, knocking it into the red, and then follow up with a third Pursuit, and that is it. Feels a little unfortunate that with our first Dark-type Pokemon, we had to get all the way to level 16 to face Brock, but hopefully as we move forward with some other Dark-type challenges in the future, we'll be able to do that at a much lower level. It really is a shame that Umbreon doesn't start with Pursuit or Bite. That would have made this a lot easier instead of having to overlevel so early into the game. I make sure to save and I head over to the Pokemart so I can pick up some repels and an escape rope that I'm sure I will need later on through the game. And then as I am heading over to Mount Moon, I'm going to make sure to avoid as many trainers as possible because I don't want to overlevel any further. Along my way, I pick up some rare candies and a Moonstone, even though that doesn't sell for anything, and I take on the Fossil Trainer. Grimer's out first, and I start off with a Pursuit for just over half. Grimer retaliates with a critical hit pound that doesn't do too much. I follow up with another Pursuit, and Grimer goes down. Up next is Coughing. Pursuit knocks it into the red, and he follows up with a Smog for 10 HP. I finish it off with a Tackle and level up to level 21. Voltorb is his final Pokemon. I start off with another Pursuit, which takes it into the red again, but Voltorb only goes for a Screech, so I tackle and take it out. From here, I'm able to make my way through the remainder of Mount Moon. On my way through, though, I made the Mah-Dry-Bread fossil meme. I knew that if I didn't show you what I took, you'd all ask. Actually, now that I think about it, everybody asks anyway. Comments are good for the YouTube algorithm. Up next, I've got the choice between going to Rival 2 or heading to face Misty. Because of my level and not wanting to backtrack, I choose to face Misty. Before I start, I remember that Water Pulse has a high chance to confuse, so I make sure to equip a berry that cures confusion. Now's a good time to remind everyone of my rules for the run. I'm allowed to use held items in battle, but I can't use any other items. After that's equipped, I make sure to save, and I hope that I won't end up soaked. Misty starts off with Staryu. I hit first with Pursuit for just under half, and she follows up with a Harden. My next Pursuit crits and knocks Staryu out. Starmie is up next and moves first with Water Pulse. It doesn't confuse, and I follow up with a super effective Pursuit for about a third. Water Pulse hits again, and so does Pursuit, which knocks Starmie into the red. Misty's Super Potions to full, and my Pursuit hits again for about a third. Next, Water Pulse both crits me down to 18 HP and confuses me. Luckily, my Held Berry cures confusion, and Pursuit takes her back down to the red. If Water Pulse high rolls, I might be done. It hits and leaves me with 5 HP and doesn't confuse. Because of that, I was able to hit Pursuit, level up to level 22, and win the Cascade badge. After that, I go ahead and head out of the gym, heal my Pokemon, grab the rare candy that's hidden in the flower garden, and then it's time to take on Rival 2. Pidgeotto's out first. Pursuit does about a third, and surprisingly, Pidgeotto goes for Tackle instead of Sand Attack. Next, he uses Quick Attack, and I follow up with another Pursuit. Next turn, I go first again and knock him out with a third Pursuit. Rattata's out next. Pursuit hits for about 3/4 of his health, and Rattata hits a small tackle. He decides to play like Pidgeotto and hits Quick Attack, lowering me to 57 HP, and I knock him out with another Pursuit. He skips Abra and sends out Bulbasaur. Pursuit crits and leaves him with just under half health, but Bulbasaur goes for Sleep Powder, and of course, I fall asleep. I stay asleep for 3 turns. 3 turns! During this time, he Vine Whips me down to 42 HP. Finally, I wake up and just miss knocking him out with a Pursuit. He Vine Whips again, hitting me to half health. Luckily, he doesn't heal, and Pursuit takes him out. Abra is last. Super effective Pursuit knocks him out, and I hit level 23. Because of this, I'm able to learn Quick Attack, so I replace Tail Whip, and am able to move on to Nugget Bridge. Up towards Bill's house, I take out the trainer with the Rattata and the Ekans so I can grab the TM for secret power that's behind him. The added power plus some different terrain effects will come in handy until I have access to return later in the run. Next, I go to visit Bill on the recommendation of my rival, and whoa! What is going on in here? This guy claims that he screwed up an experiment, right? And offers me a cruise ship ticket to help him fix it. Yeah, I'm not really sure what he's talking about, but I think I'm gonna head out of here as fast as possible. But hey, free cruise ship. When I get there, it turns out my rival is also here. Did he bribe him too with cruise ship tickets? How many experiments was this guy doing? Anyways, it's Rival 3 time. Pidgeotto's out first again. He hit first with a Quick Attack, but my secret power does just over half and paralyzes him. He tries another Quick Attack, but ends up being fully paralyzed, and my Pursuit connects and takes him out. Up next, he sends out his hacked level 16 Raticate. I use secret power, and not only does it paralyze once again, but it also takes him to the red. He retaliates with Tail Whip, and I finish him off with a Quick Attack. Kadabra's next. All it takes is one super effective Pursuit, and he is gone. Last up is Ivysaur. My secret power fires off and takes him just past 50%, but once again, he goes for a Sleep Powder, and of course, I'm asleep. While I'm asleep, over the next 3 turns, he Vine Whips me down to 62 HP. When I finally wake up, I fire off another secret power and finish him off. After my victory, the rival tells me to go visit the seasick captain. Like, is this man trying to get me sick or something? I head upstairs, cure his seasickness with the magic of back rubs, and as a reward, he teaches me how to use Cut. I teach it to the Farfetch that I traded a Spearow for earlier, and now I'm off to take on Lieutenant Surge. Surge starts off with a Voltorb. Secret Power takes him into the red, and Voltorb hits me with a Sonic Boom. Surge decides to Super Potion, and Pursuit takes him back down to just below half. A second Pursuit takes him out, though. The XP that I gained makes me level up, and I hit level 31. Out next is Pikachu. Secret Power one-shots the Electric Mouse. All that's left is Raichu. I start off with Secret Power, it paralyzes him and takes him below half as Raichu hits a double team. Surge decides to use a full heal to remove the paralyze, but my Secret Power connects and Raichu faints. From here, I'm off to the Rock Tunnel. Because the Gen 3 Rock Tunnel doesn't really show the edges like Gen 1 does, I opt to take some time and catch a few Pokemon and teach Flash to Drowsy. After making it through the tunnel, I head south of Lavender Town and pick up the TM for return. I teach it to Umbreon right away and remove Quick Attack. After that, I make my way through and over to Celadon City. I immediately grab the tea from the old lady and then make my way back to Saffron City. I run over to Mr. Psychic's house and pick up, well, Psychic. I teach it Umbreon in place of Secret Power. I head back to Celadon and go right to Erica's gym. While I'm battling the first trainer in the gym, Umbreon levels up to level 36. I'm able to replace Pursuit with Feint Attack. Because of this, my moveset's going to be set for a while, and I'm pretty confident that I'll be using this moveset for much of the remainder of the run. Before I start Erica, I decide to equip a Chesto Berry in case I get put to sleep, save the game, and now it's time for Erica. She leads off with Victory Bell. I decided to start with Return, just to see how much it would do. It does about a third, but Victory Bell paralyzes me with Stun Spore. My Synchronized ability passes on the Paralyzed to her, but unfortunately now I'm going to be slower than our other two Pokemon. I break through the Paralyze, and I finish her off with a single super effective Psychic. Out next is Tangela. It uses Ingrain, and I hit a return for just under half her HP, which ends up being about a third after Ingrain's Roots Healer. She uses Giga Drain while I sit fully paralyzed. Her next Giga Drain crits and almost heals her to full while I sit paralyzed again. Why did I choose a Chesto Berry over a Cherry Berry again? Tangela crits another Giga Drain, and I'm once again fully paralyzed. Her next Giga Drain takes me below half HP, but I fire off a Psychic and it just misses knocking her out. Erica decides to Hyper Potion as I go for Feint Attack. It connects and knocks her out with a single hit. Whew! Alright, Vileplume's last. She starts off with a Giga Drain as I hit her with a super effective Psychic for about 70% of her HP. It also lowers her special defense, which is super nice. Another Giga Drain hits, but I break through, paralyze again, and finish off with another Psychic. It's not exactly how I wanted this one to go, but a win's a win. I guess I know for next time, make sure to use a Cherry Berry instead of a Chesto Berry. Up next is the Rocket Hideout. I make sure to grab some useful items while I'm there, while avoiding as many of the grunts as I can. I take the elevator and knock out his guards, save, and then I'm ready for Giovanni. He starts off with Onix. I start off by using Psychic, which ends up knocking him into the red as he lands a Rock Throw. The next turn I decide to finish him off with a well-named Feint Attack. Rhyhorn's up next. Psychic leaves him with just a sliver as he hits a 2-turn Fury Attack. After that, I tank him out with another Feint Attack, which levels me up to level 40. His Kangaskong is going to be last. I go for Return, which does about a third. Kangaskong uses a not very effective Bite. I switch it up and go for Psychic next, but it's doing about the same thing that Returned it. On the next turn, I use another Psychic with left him with just a sliver. Like, seriously, it was 1 HP. Luckily, Giovanni didn't heal, so I used Feint Attack, and it wins me a Self Scope. Next, I realize I never picked up Fly. I head over, grab it from the girl north of the bike route, and teach it to Farfetch'd. I fly back to Lavender Town, enter the Pokemon Tower, and find that Rival 4 is waiting for another battle. He starts off with Pidgeotto once again. I use Return and just miss knocking him out. This ends up being less than ideal, as he hits me with a Sand Attack. Luckily, Feint Attack never misses, so I knock him out with one after he lands a Quick Attack. Out second is Gyarados. I try Psychic for a special defense drop, get it, and do about half as he goes for Thrash. I fire off another Psychic and take him out, which levels me up to level 41. Growlithe is next. I miss a Psychic as he lands an Ember. Ugh. I go for Psychic again, though, and it one-shots him. Nice! He sends out Kadabra, and a super effective Feint Attack knocks him out in a single hit. Ivysaur's last. I go for another super effective Psychic, and once again, it knocks him out. From here I finish off the Pokemon Tower storyline, avoiding as many trainers as possible. I go over, wake up the Snorlax, head down the bike route, grab some items, avoid the trainers, go to Koga's gym, and now it's time to face off against the Poison Master. First out is Coughing. A super effective Psychic takes him out in one hit. Nice! Next is Muck. Psychic does just under half as Muck goes for Minimize. A second Psychic brings him to a sliver as he lands a Toxic on me. My berry cures the poison, and I try to take him out with Psychic, but Koga Hyper Potions, which leaves him with about half HP when all is said and done. Another Psychic should do it. I fire it off and it low rolls, leaving him with about 5 HP. Muck hits a Sludge, and unfortunately it also poisons me. Koga Hyper Potions again, as I miss Psychic. My next Psychic crits, but only brings him to the red, as Muck uses another Minimize. To conserve on Psychic PP, I use Feint Attack and knock him out. Unfortunately, the poison has brought me to only 60 HP, and Koga still has 2 more Pokemon. Next is another Coughing, another super effective Psychic, knocks him out in 1 hit, which is also nice, but poison brings me down to 42 HP. Wheezing's last. I fire off a super effective Psychic, hoping it'll one-shot. It doesn't. Sludge hits me, and poison finishes me off. I reset and give it another go. It starts off the same with Psychic one-shotting Coughing. Muck is out, and this time I've got a trick up my sleeve though. I start off with Confuse Ray, and I'm rewarded as he hits himself with Confusion. Next I use Psychic, and he hits himself in Confusion again, leaving him with about 25 HP. I go for another Psychic, expecting him to heal, but he doesn't, and I knock him out. The next Coughing goes just like the first, falling to a single Psychic. Outlast is Wheezing. I use Psychic, get blessed with a crit that knocks him out in a single hit. It's kind of amazing how different 2 back-to-back attempts can go. But with that, I've earned the Soul Badge and the TM for Toxic. After the battle, I make sure to save, and then I knock out a few errands. I go to the Safari Zone and pick up the Gold Teeth and Surf. From there, I head back over to the Sylph Co. I make my way directly to the 5th floor, knock out the Rocket Grunt that's blocking the keycard, and then pick it up. From there, I go to the 9th floor, heal up in the bed, and then take the 2 conveniently located teleports directly to Rival 5. Out first is this newly evolved Pidgeot. I hit a return for under half as he uses Feather Dance to lower my attack. Because of this, the next turn I go for Psychic, which puts him in the red as he uses Wing Attack for 14 damage. On the next turn, I knock him out with Feint Attack. Gyarados is second, and Intimidate cuts my attack yet again. I go for Psychic, hoping for a special defense drop, but I don't get it. Psychic only does about a 4th, and Gyarados chunks me with Dragon Rage. On the next turn, Psychic crits him into the red, as Gyarados chunks me again with Dragon Rage. Another Psychic takes him out, I level up to 48, but I'm only left with 66 HP as Growlithe comes out. Intimidate cuts my attack again, so I go for Psychic once again. It puts him in the red as Flame Wheel takes me to 53 HP. The next turn I take him out with Feint Attack. Alakazam is next. 2 super effective Feint Attacks take him out as all he used was Calm Mind. The rival's Ace Venusaur is last. A super effective Psychic takes him to about a half health as he once again puts me to sleep with Sleep Powder. Over the next 3 turns, I stay asleep, and Razor Leaf knocks me out. I reset, equip a Chesto Berry, and give it another shot. Eventually I'm going to learn against the rival, just equip a Chesto Berry. This time I start off with Psychic, as Pidgeot hits a Wing Attack. Another round of Psychic and Wing Attacks leaves him with a Silver and me with 130 HP. I take him out with a Feint Attack, and Gyarados is out next. Psychic is still only doing about a 4th, but this time Gyarados goes for Twister. I use Psychic again, but this time he uses Dragon Rage, bringing me down to 84 HP. Another Psychic and Dragon Rage, and I'm down to just 44 HP. A 4th Psychic knocks him out, I level up and bring my HP up to 47. Out third is Growlithe. 2 Psychics take him out, as Flame Wheel brought me to 34 HP. Alakazam goes just like it did last time. 2 super effective Feint Attacks take him out, and he only used a Calm Mind. Venusaur is last. I click Psychic, and the super effective move crits and takes him out in a single attack. Why couldn't that have just happened last time? After the battle, he makes a comment about being a genius because he figured out how to use his Pokedex. Ooh, nice. As he leaves the building, I heal up, grab the Lapras from the Sylph employee, and teach it the HMs for both Surf and Strength. After that, I take out another Rocket Grunt, and then it's time for Giovanni number 2. This fight consists of me using super effective Psychic to one-shot the Nidorino and two-shot the Nidoqueen. For Kangaskhan, Psychic isn't super effective, so it's a 3-shot. It's similar and not super effective for Rhyhorn, so it takes 2 hits to take him out. After all is said and done, I'm left with 80 HP. Oof, Giovanni 2 is just not very good. After that, I grab the Master Ball that I'm never going to use, and then head over to Sabrina's gym. I wonder how Dark types are going to fare against her. She starts off with Kadabra. The Pokemon I used in almost every Gen 1 run I did goes down to a single super effective Feint Attack. Next is Venomoth. Super Effective Psychic takes it to the red, but she confuses me with Supersonic. Sabrina Hyper Potions as I hit myself in Confusion. After that, I hit myself in Confusion again, and she hits a Super Effective Leech Life, bringing me to 132 HP. The next turn, I snap out of Confusion and land a high roll Super Effective Psychic that takes her out. Mr. Mime comes out next. A Super Effective Feint Attack one-shots it, and I level up to level 50. Her Ace Alakazam is last. I hit first with a Super Effective Feint Attack that brings her to the red as she goes for Calm Mind. She Hyper Potions, but Feint Attack crits and finishes her off. Oh, how the mighty Psychic types have fallen since Gen 1. After that, I fly to Pallet Town and surf to Cinnabar, making sure to avoid all the trainers on the way. I grab the gym's key that's in the mansion and heal up at the Poké Center. When I get to the gym, I see that I'm one level away from learning Moonlight, so I take out the first trainer and replace Confuse Ray. Hopefully I won't regret that decision. I battle a few more trainers, heal up, and save. Blaine's next. Growlithe is out first, immediately cutting my attack with Intimidate. Feint Attack takes it to the red as he goes for a critical hit Fire Blast, leaving me with 116 HP. Blaine heals to full as I go for Return. It crits and takes him out in a single attack. Ponyta's next. Feint Attack also crits and knocks it out too. Okay then. Third is Rapidash. Feint Attack hits for about a third as he Fire Blasts me down to 86 HP. I decide to heal with Moonlight, but his next Fire Blast hits and burns me down to 123 HP. Unfortunately, I didn't have a berry to cure burns, so I'm stuck with it. My next Feint Attack takes him to the red as Fire Blast misses. I try to finish him off with another Feint Attack, but he Hyper Potions. Because of this, he's back at about 65% HP as my burn lowers me to 81 HP. I heal again with Moonlight as he hits another Fire Blast. Another Feint Attack and another Fire Blast leaves him in the red and me at 64 HP. Knowing that the burn will do damage even if I knock him out, I decide to Moonlight again to be safe. Unfortunately, he predicted this and landed a Fire Spin. The next turn I take him out, but now I'm hemorrhaging HP from both a burn and Fire Spin. Arcanine comes out last as my HP hits 94. My Feint Attack does about a fourth, and he hits a Fire Blast. Hoping for a crit, I go for Feint Attack, but it leaves him with a third. Fire Blast hits, and Umbreon goes down. I reset and try again, hoping for better luck. This time Feint Attack takes Growlithe to the red as he misses a Fire Blast. After a Hyper Potion from him and a Feint Attack from me, I take him out with a third Feint Attack. Ponyta's next, and this time Feint Attack doesn't crit. It does about 65% as Fire Blast takes me to 150 HP. Another Feint Attack takes it out on the next turn. Rapidash time. This time I try Psychic for a special defense drop, but it doesn't happen and hits for about a third as he hits Fire Blast and takes me to 118 HP. Another Psychic takes him to about 25% as his Fire Blast both hits and gets a burn again. I decide to try for the KO with Psychic, but he Hyper Potions and I tick down to 44 HP from the burn. I try another Psychic, hoping Fire Blast would miss, but it doesn't, and the burn knocks me out again. I reset and try another time, but unfortunately, burn keeps taking me out. I consider Dig, but with the Growlithe and Arcanine dropping my attack, I doubt it would help. Instead, I end up surfing to the east and battle a few trainers to level up to 53. Scott from Scott's Thoughts taught me that the damage rounding favors levels ending in 0, 3, 5, and 8. So after I level up, I come back to Blaine for another shot. This attempt, Feint Attack is definitely doing more damage, but it still takes 3 hits to take out both the Growlithe and the Ponyta. Once they're knocked out, I'm left with about 126 HP as Rapidash comes out. On the first turn, Feint Attack is doing about half his health as Fire Blast brings me to 93 HP. Another Feint Attack fails to take it out though, and of course, Fire Blast burns me. I stare at the screen and decide to reset and level to level 55 instead. I finish off the trainers between Cinnabar and the Seafoam Island entrance, then I fly to Celadon and head over to the bike path. I knock out a few trainers by spamming Psychic until I hit level 55. While I'm here, I pick up a PP up and rare candy I forgot the first time through. After that, I fly back to Cinnabar, and now it's hopefully time to finally beat Blaine. On this attempt, it once again takes Feint Attack 3 hits to take Growlithe out after a Fire Blast and Hyper Potion. Ponyta's next. Feint Attack takes it to about 25%, but his Fire Blast misses. Blaine Hyper Potions and 2 more Feint Attacks take him out. Rapidash is out third. Feint Attack does about half his HP as Fire Blast takes me to 128 HP. This time my second Feint Attack takes him out. I'm finally arriving at Arcanine without a burn. Feint Attack does about a third as Fire Blast misses. I fire off another Feint Attack and his Fire Blast connects, leaving me with 82 HP. I go for a third Feint Attack, hoping he won't heal. He doesn't, and Arcanine finally goes down. I can definitely say that I didn't expect Blaine to be such a challenge. But lesson learned, I need to find a berry to cure burn for future Blaine attempts. Next, I head directly to Viridian City. I take out the two gym trainers blocking my way, heal up, and now it's time for the final battle with Giovanni. He sends out Rhyhorn number 1. I go for a Black Glasses boosted Feint Attack and it knocks him out with a single hit. Nice! Next is Nidoqueen. Super effective Psychic takes it to the red as Nidoqueen hits a critical hit Earthquake for 55 damage. Giovanni heals it and Psychic takes it back down to the red. After that, a third Psychic takes it out and I level up to level 57. Nidoking is third. Super effective Psychic takes it to what has to be 1 HP as Nidoking hits an Earthquake that brings me down to 105 HP. On the next turn, Giovanni heals, and Psychic just misses, knocking it out again. I switch to Feint Attack, and it goes down. Next is Dugtrio. I go for a Black Glasses boosted Feint Attack, and it also leaves it with a Sliver. What is going on? Like, that's the third time it's left with just a Sliver. He hits with Earthquake, and I'm left with 84 HP. Next, I consider healing, but I decided to go with another Feint Attack, and he goes down. Rhyhorn number 2 is last. Feint Attack brings it to the red as Earthquake crits and leaves me with just 12 HP. I fire it off another Feint Attack, and Giovanni is finished. He gives me my final badge and the TM for Earthquake. I'm kind of sad because Umbreon can learn Dig, but for some reason can't learn Earthquake. Whatever. I'm confident in my moveset though. I heal up and head for rival number 6. Pidgeot is out first. Return does just over a third as he goes for a Wing Attack. Another return brings him to the red, as another Wing Attack brings me to 153 HP. I go for another return expecting him to heal, but he doesn't, and Pidgeot goes down. Rhyhorn's next. Feint Attack brings him to the red, as Takedown only does a little damage. Once again, he doesn't heal, and Rhyhorn goes down for a second Feint Attack. Gyarados comes out third, and Intimidate cuts my attack. Feint Attack does about a fourth as he goes for Rain Dance. I go for Psychic, and it brings him down past half as he goes for a Rain Dance boosted Hydro Pump, which brings me to 99 HP. I decide to go for another Feint Attack, and it crits, knocking him out and leveling me to 58. Nice! Next is Growlithe, who cuts my attack again. Feint Attack does over half as he goes for Agility. I assume because it's still raining? Agility makes his takedown go first as Feint Attack knocks him out. Alakazam is next. Because I'm only at 93 HP and I know he can't do much to hurt me, I go for a Moonlight to heal to nearly full as he goes for a Calm Mind. I try a return, but it doesn't do much as he goes for another Calm Mind. Feint Attack brings him to the red as Alakazam disables it. I go for a return expecting a heal, but he doesn't, and Alakazam faints. Last out is Venusaur. Super effective Psychic does just under half as he goes for Growth. Another Psychic brings him to the red as he Razor Leafs me down to 127 HP. A third Psychic takes him out. I'm a little confused as to why he didn't try to heal at all, but I'm finished with him, and I'm off to the Pokemon League. After healing, I deposit my Farfetch'd, Drowsy, and Lapras that I used for HMs. Then I stop by the Pokemart for a few full restores and full heals. After that, I save my game. Now it's time for the Elite Four, and Laurel is up first. She sends out Dugong as I send out a level 60 Umbreon. Black Glasses boosted Feint Attack does about a fifth as she goes for Safeguard. Next I go for Return and it puts her below half health as she hits me with an Ice Beam for 31 HP. Another Return takes her to the red as Ice Beam crits and takes me to 112 HP. I go for Feint Attack forgetting that she's just going to heal, and well, she heals. Next I follow suit and heal with Moonlight as she hits Surf for 30 HP. I go for Return and she goes for Ice Beam. A second return takes her to the red, and Surf brings her to 108 HP. This time I stick with Return, and it knocks her out. Second is Cloyster. Psychic brings her below half as she uses Hail. I go for another Psychic as she stalls with Protect. A third Psychic takes her out as I level to level 61. Next is Slowbro. Because Hail hits between turns, I opt to heal with Moonlight as she goes for Amnesia. Next I go for super effective, Black Glasses boosted, same type attack bonus Feint Attack that does about a third as she hits Surf taking me to 72 HP. Now that the hail stopped, I heal again with Moonlight as she uses Yawn. Crap. My next Feint attack crits and takes her out. Out fourth is Lapras as I fall asleep. The first turn of sleep, she makes matters worse by confusing me. The second turn of sleep, she hits Surf. The next turn, I wake up and use Return for about a fourth as her Ice Beam takes me to 108 HP. Next I try Psychic, which does less than a fourth as Surf takes me down into the yellow. I try another Psychic and get the special defense drop I was hoping for as she goes for Ice Beam and hits me into the red. Her Citrus Berry heals her, and I follow suit with Moonlight as she continues to Ice Beam away. Another Psychic and Ice Beam lowers our health pools again. Next, she heals to full as I get another special defense drop with my Psychic. Another one hits her below half as Ice Beam takes me back into the red. I use my last Moonlight as Surf takes me back to about half. I try another Psychic as she's left with what has to be 1 HP as Ice Beam continues to chunk me. Feint attack finally tanks her out though. Whew. Jinx is last. 2 Feint attacks take her final Pokemon out as her only attack misses. After the battle, I restore some much needed PP and heal up. Then I save. Bruno is number 2, and unfortunately, today we need to talk about him. Bruno starts off with his first Onix. Feint attack takes him below half as Rock Tomb lowers my speed. A second Feint attack takes him out. Hitmonchan is next. Super effective Sky Uppercut does just under half my HP as super effective Psychic leaves him at half. Another Sky Uppercut takes me into the red, and Psychic takes him out. Hitmonlee is third. Mega Kick goes off first and knocks me out before I had a chance to heal with Moonlight. After I reset, I decide it might be best to switch out the black glasses for a Citrus Berry and try again. This fight starts off the same, with a Feint attack doing just over half to him and Rock Tomb slowing me. Unfortunately, being weak against fighting and being slowed from Rock Tomb makes this fight end almost identically to the first time. This time when I reset, I decide it's time to use the rare candies that I've been collecting. I use 7 of the 10, leveling me up to level 68, a good level for damage rounding. Third time's the charm, right? This time Feint attack hits Onix to the red as he hits an Earthquake for 23 damage. I go for another Feint attack as he uses a full restore. On my third Feint attack, Bruno does something I don't think I've ever seen before. He switches out to Hitmonchan? My Feint attack doesn't do much due to the switch. Next, I use super effective Psychic that takes him into the red as he misses a Rock Tomb. Return finishes him off. Out next is Hitmonlee. Super effective Psychic takes him into the yellow as super effective Brick Break takes me to 128 HP. Return finishes him off as well. Next he sends out Machamp. Super effective Psychic takes him into the yellow as he goes for a bulk up and restores some health with the Citrus Berry. My next Psychic leaves him with the Sliver as he misses a Cross Chop. I go for Return hoping he won't heal, and it knocks him out. After that, a nearly dead Onix comes back out. He uses a full restore, and my Feint attack takes him back to the red. After that, another Feint attack takes him out. Out last is his second Onix. Feint attack does about 70% HP as Earthquake takes me to half. He doesn't heal though, and Feint attack finishes him off. Once the battle's over, I use a full restore and another elixir to heal up. Then I save. Agatha's number 3. She starts off with her first Gengar. Super effective Psychic takes her into the red as a not very effective Shadow Punch hits me for 21 damage. She full restores as Feint attack takes her back to the red. A second Feint attack takes her out. Golbat is next. Super effective Psychic takes it to the red as an Air Cutter hits me for low damage. I go for Feint attack and it takes her out. Out third is Arbok. Super effective Psychic takes her to low yellow as a Sludge Bomb hits and poisons me down to 119 HP. I finish her off with a Feint attack, and out fourth is her second Gengar. Poison hits between turns, so I use Moonlight to heal as Sludge Bomb takes me back down to 146 HP after the poison. Super effective Psychic hits her into the yellow after a Citrus Berry as another Sludge Bomb takes me to half. Another Psychic finished her off and I level up to 69. Noise. Last is Hunter. One of the best designed Pokemon, IMO. I go for a super effective Psychic and it knocks it out in a single hit. With that, Agatha is done. I heal up Umbreon, save my game, and make the long walk to number 4, the Dragon Master, Lance. He starts with Gyarados, which lowers my attack. A stab feint attack does about a fourth as Dragon Rage hits me for 40 damage. Another feint attack takes him into the yellow as Twister hits me for low damage. A third feint attack just misses the KO, and he responds with a Hyper Beam for 50 damage. Knowing that he can't attack or heal, I take him out with another feint attack. Aerodactyl is second. Ancient Power leaves me with 102 HP as feint attack does about a third. Wing attack does another 27 damage as my feint attack hits him again. Hyper Beam hits, leaving me with just 29 HP. Holy oof. Before my Moonlight heals me back to 143 HP. While he's recharging, I go for a second Moonlight to get to full health. A second Hyper Beam deals 42 damage as my feint attack takes him out. Third is Dragonite. Psychic does about a fifth as Outrage hits me for 46 damage. I hit Psychic again as Outrage takes me to 98 HP. Another Psychic and Outrage hits, and he's left with just over half as his Citrus Berry heals him. Another Psychic hits, and he hits himself in Confusion, leaving him in the red. He uses a full restore as I Moonlight myself back to 165 HP. I go for return since Psychic is low on PP, and he uses Safeguard. I do another return as he starts Outrage again. Another return in Outrage brings us down a little more. I try another return for a crit, but it doesn't, and Outrage takes me down to the red health. I heal again with Moonlight as he hits himself in Confusion, leaving him with just a sliver. I go for return, and it finally knocks him out. Next out is his first Dragonair. Return's doing about a third as he hits Dragon Rage. I use another return, and he uses Safeguard. On the next turn, he uses a full restore as my third return hits. A fourth return brings him to low yellow as Dragon Rage does the same for me. I heal with my last Moonlight as Dragon Rage brings me to 139 HP. I finally take him out with another return. His other Dragonair is last. A hit with return as he paralyzes me. Luckily, my Synchronize also paralyzes him. My next return takes him to the yellow as he starts an Outrage, which critically hits. Shedskin then cures him of his Paralyze as his Outrage takes me to 55 HP. I'm able to break through my Paralyze though and finish him off with the final return. That battle was actually a lot closer than I thought it would be. After the battle, I ended up hitting level 70 from defeating that second Dragonair. I heal up, I decide to switch out my black glasses for a Chesto Berry just in case I get put to sleep, and now it's time. It's all led to this. The champion leads with Pidgeot. My first return crits and leaves him with about a fourth of his HP left. He responds with an Aerial Ace crit of his own that does about a fourth to me. The next turn I go for another return and it knocks him out. Alakazam is out second. Super effective stab feint attack takes him to low yellow as he uses a Reflect. Knowing he can't do too much, I Moonlight to full as he uses a full restore. It takes 2 more feint attacks to take him out as all he had used was Recover. Rhydon is next. Feint attack does about a third as he lowers my speed with Scary Face. My next feint attack takes him into the red as he lowers my speed yet again. Next he heals to full as I hit another feint attack. He hits an Earthquake for 54 damage as my Psychic takes him into the red. Another Earthquake takes me to 123 HP as my second Psychic knocks him out. Gyarados is fourth. His Dragon Rage takes me below half as Psychic does about a fifth but gets a special defense drop. Hydro Pump takes me to the red, but I heal back up to 162 HP with Moonlight. He lands another Dragon Rage as Psychic takes him to half. He hits another Dragon Rage as I heal again with Moonlight. He then hits Hydro Pump again as my next Psychic leaves him with just a sliver. Unfortunately he heals and my Psychic does about a third. His next Dragon Rage brings me to the yellow as my Psychic does the same to him. His next Dragon Rage leaves me with 77 HP as I finish him off with a feint attack. Out next is Arcanine. His Intimidate lowers my stats again, bringing the running total to a -2 attack and a -4 speed. He starts with Flamethrower that takes me to the red as I heal with Moonlight. He Flamethrowers again, and this time I get burned as I heal with another Moonlight. He hits another Flamethrower as I land a feint attack for about a third, but his burn brings me to half. Unfortunately, the speed drops and the burn just put me too far behind. I use another feint attack as his Flamethrower hits, and burn leaves me with just 15 HP. The next turn, he uses Priority, Extreme Speed, and Umbreon feints. After I reset, I decide I might as well use my 3 remaining rare candies. This brings me up to level 73. My stats are now 240 HP, 131 attack, 201 defense, 121 special attack, 207 special defense, and 151 speed. I think as long as I don't get the speed drops, I can win this time. Attempt 2. This time return does just under half as he hits with Aerial Ace. After another round of return and Aerial Ace, he heals as I land a third return. After my fourth return takes him to the yellow, he plays dirty and lowers my accuracy with Sand Attack. Ugh. On the next turn, I stick with return, knowing that I'll need to conserve Feint Attack for his other Pokemon, and it hits, knocking him out. For Alakazam, I start with another return that takes him to the low yellow as he uses Reflect. I heal a full with Moonlight as he recovers to about 70% HP. For some reason, I go for a Reflect lowered return as he heals again with Recover. I definitely should have used Feint Attack as it probably would have knocked him out. I spam return again, but it misses and he recovers back to full. After that, I remember to use super effective Stab, Feint Attack, and it leaves him with about 25% as he recovers again. Reflect ends and my next Feint Attack takes him out. I'd like to say that I was stalling out the Reflect, but given that the next Pokemon are Rock types or lower my attack with Intimidate, that definitely wasn't it. It was definitely just me playing bad. Oh well. Out next is Rhydon. Feint Attack does just under half as Scary Face reduces my speed. My next Feint Attack high rolls and leaves him with just 1 HP as he lowers my speed again. The next turn he heals to full, and I go for Psychic, hoping for a special defense drop, but I don't get it. Next he lands an Earthquake for 57 damage as Feint Attack brings him into the red. His second Earthquake brings me to 126 as my second Feint Attack knocks him out. Fourth is Gyarados, who lowers my attack with his Intimidate ability. He uses Dragon Rage as I hit Psychic for about a fourth. He uses Dragon Rage again as I use Moonlight to heal. The next turn, Dragon Rage takes me to 126 HP as my Feint Attack crits, bringing him to the red. He heals as my next Feint Attack hits for a fourth. He goes for Dragon Rage again as I decide to heal again with Moonlight. On the next turn, he lands a Hydro Pump for 35 damage as Psychic brings him to half. He lands another Hydro Pump and Feint Attack brings him to the red. On the next turn, he lands a third Hydro Pump, which also crits as I knock him out. This is like the worst time that this could have happened, as now I'm only left with 60 HP for Arcanine, who I'm also slower than. As Arcanine comes out, Intimidate cuts my attack a second time. He starts with Flamethrower that takes me into the red as I heal with Moonlight. He Flamethrowers again as I heal again, bringing me back to 203 HP. Next he uses another Flamethrower as my Feint Attack does about a third. His next Flamethrower takes me below half as my Feint Attack tanks him under a third. On the next turn, he goes for another Flamethrower as I tank him out with another Feint Attack. Venusaur is up last as I have just 57 HP remaining. I risk it all, choosing Psychic over Moonlight. Luckily he goes for Solar Beam, which has to charge, as the super effective Psychic does half, but his Citrus Berry heals him a bit. I hold my breath as Solar Beam hits. Please don't knock me out, please don't knock me out, please don't knock me out! Unfortunately, I underestimate it, and I go down. I reset, Rare Candy back up to 73, and make my way back to the champion. Third time's the charm, right? Right? This time I start off against Pidgeot with a return for about a third, as he lowers my accuracy with Sand Attack. I decide to go for return again, and it crits, knocking him out. Nice! Alakazam is next. Return takes him to about a third as he sets up a Reflect. I use return again, and to my surprise, it knocks him out? I guess he was going for a recovery instead of a full restore. Third is Rhydon. This starts out the same as usual, with Feint Attack doing just under half as he lowers my speed with Scary Face. This time I switch things up and use return for little damage as the second Scary Face misses. I swap back to Feint Attack and it knocks him out with a crit. I'm not sure if that crit mattered, but I'm moving on to Gyarados for the first time with only a -2 to speed and a -1 from the Intimidate. He starts off with Dragon Rage as Psychic does about a fourth. He switches to Hydro Pump as Psychic takes him to the yellow. The next turn, Dragon Rage brings me to half as my Psychic misses. Stupid Sand Attack. He Hydro Pumps again as my next Psychic hits. His next Hydro Pump misses as I heal with Moonlight back to 206 HP. The next turn he Dragon Rages, and my Feint Attack takes him out. Next is Arcanine, who lowers my attack as he comes out. His first Flamethrower takes me to half, as Psychic does about a third. He uses Flamethrower again as I heal with Moonlight. The next turn he Flamethrowers again as Feint Attack leaves him with about a third. Unfortunately, his next Flamethrower burns me as I went for return trying to avoid putting him into healing range, but it missed. His next Flamethrower brings me to 14 HP as I heal myself with Moonlight, ending with 104 HP after the burn. He Flamethrowers yet again as I heal again. We repeat these moves again, and now I'm at 191 HP after the burn. The next turn, I try for a -3 return, and it does little damage as Flamethrower brings me to 111 HP. He flamethrowers as I use Moonlight. The next turn, he, surprise surprise, uses Flamethrower, but I'm able to knock him out with the Feint Attack. Venusaur comes out last, as Burn takes me down to 69 HP. Nice! He goes for a Growth, as super effective Psychic does half. A Citrus Berry heals him, as Burn does 30 damage. He starts charging Solar Beam, as Psychic connects, and crits to knock him out. What a way to end it all. With that, I become the new champion using just Umbreon. Umbreon finished with a level of 73 and a game time of 9 hours and 47 minutes, or 2 hours and 52 minutes with resets and using 4 times speed. Overall, I thought the run was pretty easy once I got access to Dark-type moves and got past Brock. I was surprised that Blaine took so many attempts though. For my next Dark-type solo investigation, I'll be using Carvanha. He's a bit of a glass cannon with only 20 for both defense and special defense. How do you think he'll fare? Will he carve through the competition, or will he go belly up? Let me know your predictions in the comments below, and check back next Monday to find out. If you liked this video, please make sure to like and subscribe. If you didn't, hit up the comments and let me know what you'd like to see improved. This is a new series for me, so I'd love to hear your feedback, good or bad. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. See ya!